farm about 60 acres, and then we rent another 20, and there's a bit of commonage with that.
I farm, I suppose, 50 acres plus share in commonage. I would share a commonage with 8 other farmers.
I farm on the slopes of the Culkey Mountain in County Fermanagh. We'd farm approximately 800 acres, with 350 probably owned and about 450 leased.
It's a small suckler holding about, it'll be 90 hectares. Yeah, it's over 3 small farms. I've got sucklers is all, just selling off the calves off the cows.
Land is heavy soil, mountainous, most of it 700 feet above sea level. I'm farming sheep and suckling cows. Not a full-time job, no, it's not, no. I worked full-time, but I'm retired now at the moment.
Oh no, I have a Monday to Friday job, yeah. I work in IT, believe it or not. And these people ask me, what are you doing farming? Yeah.
I'd say the majority of the group members would feel there's not a living. No, I'd say the majority of them have enough farm income. Themselves or their spouse would have enough farm income, yeah.
But it's in the blood. It's been handed down from generation to generation, and I love the fresh air and I love getting out, and it clears the head. It can also fill it up, of course, but it gets you time out.
I suppose the question that I have when I think about all of this, and this sustainable farming is, is there going to be a future for my family in Leitrim, And then, okay, that's a big question, because, we're on the verge of whether it's economically manageable and stuff like that,
Number one, obviously, I feel I'm a sheep farmer, but I have to realise that you're looking after this from previous generations, and you need to hand on something to the next generation and say, well, I have improved that, or I've maintained it, but I haven't went backwards with it.
It'll be land management in the future. I don't think that there will be as much fruit production. There won't be as much emphasis on fruit production. I mean, even nationally, the emphasis is gone on food production. We see it in the next round of single farm payment, for instance. A lot of the money has gone on the greening, and there is no reward for producing animals.
You're farming now by the calendar, more so than by the weather. It's the main problem. It's more so being pushed at you from government. You're being told when you can farm, when you can cut your hay meadows, when you can put your cows out, when you have to take them off the ground, where you can graze your cows. So that's the main issues I'm seeing. We've been not trying, but we've been fighting the restrictions. But that doesn't work. You need it takes groups, it takes numbers, it takes people to make change.
Like land comes up for sale for lots of reasons, but there's always, so if that stream of land is moving out of agriculture and into forestry, at some point there's a tipping point and you become a forest, and there is pressure on all of these on government to find access to land, and sometimes the easiest way to find access to land is to allow communities to die. So there is a very important threat there, and so we're responsible people. We want there to be solutions, like biodiversity, climate action. These are really important things, and food security. We want to play our part, as we always have in those things. So we are under pressure, and we will find a way. Now obviously we won't determine it on our own, but we want to make sure that we're in there and we're very much part of how that solution is shaped.
And I think that there's opportunities there now in new programs that's been developed from Europe and others to attract some more funding onto the farm in terms of biodiversity and looking after the quality of the water and hedgerows. There's a lot of areas there that can be exploited and improved.
You're coming together that you can discuss and see where actually you stand in common with each other and where you can go forward to improve. When you're together, at least you have a voice, and you know, when the other people see groups working together, they can see that the positive outtake that comes from it.
So we've a lot to learn, and but we have to take responsibility for that journey. So we have to go back in a lot of ways to try and understand nature, and then try to manage differently. But we have to be at the centre of that. So I think farmers have to take responsibility for that. We've learned that now at this stage, that you can't depend on others. When people come in from the outside, they have their own objectives. But we need to make sure that our objectives are at the centre of this future that's going to be created, and that we drive it, lead it, and shape it.
We have several different farming organisations, that are representing farmers, but they're representing them on a national or a regional level. And we have something different, I think, here in Leitrim. We have something unique. I think we don't need to be shy about that. We need to sell that. I mean, we need to inform our communities about it. I mean, bring on board the people that are not involved in farming. Tell them where the sheep graze. Show them the mountains. Educate the young people, the children, transition students, bring them out onto the farm. They have a little bit of time in their transition year to show them the water courses that have not been damaged, to show them how they can be improved, to show them the blanket bog and how long it has been there, and what we are the assets that we are leaving behind us. That we are contributing to the environment in a positive way, and I don't think that story has been told often enough, or it's not been listened to at least. And I think that through this group we have an opportunity now to have that voice and get that message out there to the broader community, and inform them as to the value that agriculture plays in Leitrim.
Well, we have to look after our local area, because no one's going to look after it for us if we don't look after ourselves. And farmers are known to be private individuals and don't talk. And men are a bigger problem. We definitely don't talk about things. But if you're part of a group, you learn that you're more involved and you're part of a bigger picture, definitely. You see, again, I'm only 5 minutes from Leitrim, and I know very little people, farmers, a few of them, yes, but you don't understand that everyone's in the same boat. Yeah.
I suppose I hope that you'd have a group that can learn of each other, but then can go together for whatever, for policy change or for whatever funding for different schemes through, basically for the environment and for our own farms. And we are on the wall to one island, and the wildlife and that doesn't recognise borders. So that's where I think it's the greater good of it,
It's very important that we connect with our neighbours. They'll have different solutions to us. They might try different things than us, but one good idea, there has to be lots of diversity when it comes to ideas. And when people do something right, everybody should be able to learn a little bit from that. And then when people do something wrong, people should learn something. I think we have to be very inclusive when we're thinking. So we're now trying to shape the future. So we really have to have an open mind, and we have to talk to people. Somebody in Fermanagh could have a great idea that could be very useful to us in Leitrim, and that's why we need them.
We have quite a few younger farmers there as well. We have a couple of women involved, which I think is good. We need to get more women involved, because they're an integral part of farming. And I think that, yes, it will develop, and I think that the longer it goes on and the more we develop, we would get younger people into it. And I'm very optimistic. I'm optimistic for the group itself because we in Leitrim we have Leitrim County Council behind us, and that's unique, I think, in Ireland, that you have a local authority that's on the farmer's side. I think that's one of our great strengths. In Northern Ireland, you have the wildlife project there behind it. So those agencies, like when they're on board, they will keep a bit of momentum going to it, and the farmers will get encouragement from that when they see a higher authority interested in what they're doing. That gives them great hope.
I know it can be difficult to get farmers, some, especially the older farmers, they're set in their ways and that. But no, I think that once the word gets out there, there is a positive future for it.
The people that I meet in these groups are people who love the land, who love farming, and who want to live off the land, and that's something that we share with people all over the world, So that's what I see when I see the farmers here, and I hope that this group that we have is just the beginning, and it is only the beginning. It will be something that shapes the future here, hopefully.
I mean, we have something unique here in Fermanagh and Leitrim that needs to be put out there. I mean, for far too long we listened to the authorities telling us what to do. Now I think we should be telling them what we have and what we can contribute. It's our turn, I think, for them to listen to us.